Hello, everyone. It's great to be back, and you can see we're in tandem tonight.
Hi, everybody.
Barbara, and in case you didn't know, my label is not down there. I'm Dr. Schwartz. We're going to split this evening with two aspects. Number one, summer is coming. Life goes on. The world is opening up again. Any of you who are watching us at this point in time are interested in food, in summer, in socialization, and being successful overall. Now, the reason I wanted Barbara to be with me today is that from an educational point of view, her going to the New York College for Oriental Medicine gave her specific insights and understandings that allows her to speak with you on a different level than I. As you know, I was a psychologist. My head is still there. And remember my famous line from Dr. Chu: you can't be an overweight doctor, even though he used other words. So we're going to get started today with talking about social life and health goals for the summer and how you can be both successful and move forward in an exciting kind of way. And without further ado, Barbara.
So first of all, I do want to say, being today is Memorial Day, we, the Schwartz family, again, heartfelt thanks to the families who've made so much sacrifice in all of our honor for all of our freedom. And I know it's a day of picnics and barbecues, and for us, it had been a rainy weekend and the sun finally came out today. But we know a lot of families have made big sacrifices for all the benefits that we have, and we salute them and thank them for their service and what their families have given up for those that have lost. So just know that we're thinking of you. And we have quite a few families who have people or who are in the military, have families in the military, and again, we thank you for your service. So now let's get to the thing at hand. You know, we here, and again, I'll say AccuWeight, and we have a fantastic team. But at the core, Dad and I are regularly working together because at the end of the day, your success is our success, right? What are we here doing? Why are we doing this? Again, I was in an old career and I changed careers because AccuWeight changed my life and I wanted to pay that forward. And sometimes life has its challenges. And at the core of AccuWeight, we know following this weight loss plan, this fat loss plan, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, using what's now called intermittent fasting, noon to 6, massaging our acupressure beads. This trifecta is going to give us what we want. Fast, healthy results. We're going to get what we want. Yes, it can be challenging, but we are going to get what we want, which is our true health goals. But there are challenges with this. And, you know, part of what we see on occasion is people making a choice and saying, well, I know AccuWeight works. I know that I'm going to lose the fat. I'm getting the results I want. But especially now, here we've been all surviving, thank goodness, through a pandemic. And we have lost people, but we're still here. And we know that, you know, never before have we all been so clear on how important our health is to life and feeling good. But at the same token, we've all been in lockdown. We've been in deprivation mode for quite a while, for a year and a half, and the world is starting to open up. And we're faced with these challenging choices of, well, I don't want to lose sight of my health goals, but I've been deprived for so long and I can finally go out. And on top of it, it is summertime. This is when I usually do go out, and I can go out and I want to go out. And so now people are faced with making these choices. And do you really have to choose one or the other? And the good news is, no, you don't. Now, I don't know if you've seen our emails, but we've launched something that we've launched over the past few years, which we call our summer social. We were posed several years ago with some clients saying, I love losing weight with you guys, and I get the results, and I'm so happy. But socially, I go out every weekend, and I had one client say to me, well, my fiance and I go out every Saturday night, but every Wednesday we go to a concert during the summer. And I know I want a cocktail when I go to a concert, and I don't want to give that up, even though I want my health goals. Maybe I have to put them on hold for the summer. And so we thought about it and said, you don't need to put it on hold. If what you need is really a day or two each week so that you can open up and have a little more of a social life. And again, you can socialize while in the weight loss mode. While you're in phase 1 and you're losing weight, you can. But it is more challenging because, again, your friends may be drinking and typically you're not. You're done eating at 6, maybe here and there you're eating a little later. But in general, if you're sticking, again, 2, 2, 2, 2, noon to 6. What summer social opens up for you is not having to choose one or the other. It gives you the opportunity to pick any 2 days and make them what we call our summer social days. And there are guidelines on these days, but they're not rules. The closer you stay to the guidelines, the more likely you are to maintain or lose. The further you stray, the more likely you are to maybe gain a pound. Now, if 2 days a week you're off and 5 days a week you're on, you're going to continue to burn body fat. You won't achieve 15 pounds in a month, but you're going to continue to lose body fat. You're going to lose inches. Your clothes are going to fit better. You're still going to have more energy and feel great. And at the same time, you're also getting that other social aspect that you were looking forward to and that you didn't want to give up. And again, especially after all these months and over a year of essentially being in lockdown, my mother for the first time saw my brother and his family today and was finally able, because they're all vaccinated, to give each other hugs. Like, this is all new and it's very emotional and it's very exciting. So what summer social allows you to do. Now, there are very detailed guidelines for you, but the overall guideline for people who don't want to sit and stare at a piece of paper is what I call our upside down food pyramid. We're going to start our meals, and the proportion is going like this: vegetables and water, protein, everything else. Vegetables and water, protein, everything else. So there's nothing actually taboo, but if we keep our proportion and we keep our order that we're eating to the best of our ability, we're going to find we're probably going to continue to lose weight even on the days that we're off, but we're more likely going to, again, maintain, lose inches, and as we progress back within the program, we're going to see the scale move a bit more. Now, within the guidelines, we recommend you still don't eat before 12 o'clock. But if your family or your social event is going out to brunch, it's not going to hurt you one time to eat a bit early. We recommend that you end by 8 p.m. But you're going to that summer concert and you haven't been to a concert in a long time, you may be out eating later. In that case, you just want to make sure that you finish eating at least 2 hours before you go to bed.
And this is where I step in again for a moment. One swallow, Dr. Chu would say, one robin does not make a summer. If you do something and it works, and then you say it feels good, I'm going to do it again, then what you're doing is is overloading the system, and you're going to lose what you're learning and what you're having. The psychological aspect I'm going to talk about later, but I want you to understand what Barbara just said is, if a circumstance arises and you do it, do it. And because that circumstance arose and you did it, don't get into your head, aha, I can now add it in on a regular basis, and now you're defeating the purpose of everything.
So, and again, it's cause effect, and it's decisions and choices. So, for example, many of you have been following me on Facebook. I've been doing the program. We recently drove from Florida back to New Jersey, and during that time, look, I'm very close to goal. My clothes are fitting, but I don't have my wiggle room yet, so I don't consider myself fully at goal. So I decided to take a few days off while we traveled, and with Memorial Day weekend, etc., I'm going back on tomorrow. So I took a few days off. Now, with that time off, as we traveled, my family may have chosen certain things to eat while we were on the road. I packed a soft-sided cooler before we left. And I'll actually, during the week, I'm going to repack it and I'm going to show you what I did so I can give you a real example. But we were going to be on the road for 2 days. I packed up the cooler and I brought with me, now again, not AccuWeight specific, but healthy choices. I brought hummus and guacamole and carrot sticks so that when we stopped, I could eat things. I had pre-purchased some tuna that instead of made with mayonnaise was made with some vegetables, and I put it on top of a salad. So I went on the road prepared so that I could make healthy choices, even though I was off program, that were going to serve me to not gain weight while I'm off. Today, we got to see friends we haven't seen in about 6 months, and it was a beautiful sunny day. Sat outside with my daughter, and one of our friends brought donuts. Everybody was indulging, and I could have, and I thought, I don't need it. I don't really want it that badly, but I'm so close to goal. Do I need that donut? What's it going to do for me? And I made the choice just not to indulge. And they had some, sparkling seltzer with different flavors, and I did that instead. Did I want the donut? Yeah, there was a part of me that wanted it, but I didn't need it. And because I still have a goal, I chose not to indulge. I could have, but I made the choice not to because it's just going to get me that much closer to goal, and it wasn't self-serving. But there was another instance where we saw friends, and I chose to have 1 glass of wine. Now, what I'll tell you with alcohol is glass of water, then have your glass of your cocktail or your glass of wine, and make sure you follow it with another glass of water. We want to make sure we keep hydrated, and that also keeps us away from the carbs. You'll notice when you're drinking alcohol, you start to pick on the salty foods, the pretzels, the chips, and you look for the bread. Alcohol does create an acidic environment in our stomach, and we start to look for things that can sop that up, so we look to the carbs. And it does dehydrate us, which is why we start to look for the salty foods. So now we're eating all the munchies, and the alcohol really didn't harm our ultimate goal. But all those munchies that we're doing absent-mindedly, that's where you start going down the rabbit hole. So having a glass of water before alcohol and a glass of water after is going to help prevent that. And as I mentioned, when I chose not to have the donut, I didn't take nothing. I took a substitute. I took some sparkling water that had flavor in it, and I sipped it while everybody was eating their donuts. So I wasn't deprived. I didn't have nothing. I just made a choice to have something else. So the key here is knowing you have options. You have choices. And when it feels right for you, the one thing I often hear the most is that I did it and then I felt guilty. Look, our social time is not a time for guilt. It's a time for relaxing and enjoying. So that's where once you've made a decision, stick with it and go for it. If you're going to eat, enjoy it. But that's where I'll also remind you, your taste buds are on your tongue. When we're socializing, we're talking. If we're talking, not only is it not polite to speak with your mouth full, but if you're speaking with your mouth full, you're not truly enjoying your food. So the other thing, like I was drinking the sparkling water, is when you're having conversation, have something 0 calorie in your hand that you can sip and enjoy, so that if you're absent-mindedly having something, again, it is guilt-free. Then when you're actually having the food that you're looking for, take a bite, put it down, close your eyes, savor it. Your taste buds are in your mouth, right? They're on your tongue. So if you're not paying attention, you're just going to keep eating because you never actually got the mental and the oral satisfaction. And your stomach's going to start to say you're full, and your head and your mouth are going to say, no, I didn't have it yet. Give me some more. And you're going to keep looking for more.
Now, what Barbara is saying here is something you have to focus on. Number one, no guilt. You're an adult. You made a choice. And you recognize if you're sitting here today listening to us, you've already said in your mind, I want to lose weight. I want to take care of myself. If you go back to your old habits, then what are we sitting here and what are we listening to? So what we're doing is we are recreating a sense of self that works for you. And the important thing is you did not say no. You said, this is how I'm going to do it. You're going to change the way you live, and you are the one who's going to determine how. We're giving you the guidelines.
So, and happy Memorial Day. It just says Facebook user, so I don't know who's there, but happy Memorial Day to you too, and thank you for joining us. So really what it comes down to with Summer Social is you might decide that you're going away for the weekend, or you're seeing friends, or you want your weekend off. I've had some clients say, my husband has been so patient, and he really understands that, I might sit with him, but I haven't been eating dinner with him. But, we're getting together with friends, and I really want to honor how much he's honored me by taking a couple of meals off or eating a bit later. And again, that's what Summer Social's about. It has the flexibility to the fact that it may be that you want your weekends off. So in which case you're on program in phase 1, Monday through Friday, and taking Saturday and Sunday off. But you might be like that client of mine who says, I go out on Saturday night, but we go out every Wednesday. So it gives you that flexibility of which 2 days. And also keep in mind, if you only need one, take one. And if you're in a week where there are no social challenges or a reason that you need to go off, you could go off 1 week for 2 days and the following week be on for 7. So you've got the flexibility of going in and out in that way. So the key thing with Summer Social, and you'll see it on the landing page, if you're at the home screen, if you go to our website, AccuWeight.com, you'll see a banner as you come on, and we're going to leave this up all summer long. So again, you might not need it this week, but maybe you need it next week. Again, this is about empowering you to get everything you want, to get on that path to your health, reach your health goals, while at the same time, you get to enjoy the fact that the world is opening up and that the weather, when you're in the Northeast at least, is getting warmer. Again, we've had the benefit of being outside and great weather all winter long because we were in Florida. But a large concentration of our clients, because that's where our offices have been, are in the Northeast, and we have been locked away because of winter. And so it's time to be able to get outside and enjoy ourselves. Now, when we take a day off, if it's 1 day off, we're always going to follow it with 1 milk day. If we've taken 2 days off, we're always going to follow it with 2 milk days. And then we're going to get back into our 2-day cycle. But for example, if you took Saturday off, Sunday, and ideally Monday would be milk, Tuesday's veggies, and in the case of my client, Wednesday is summer social day, and we get back to milk day, Thursday, Friday, and then again, Saturday is a day off. So we've put on the website, and again, the link is on the banner on the homepage, of several different samples of what a summer social week could look like. So we've got 3 different examples there to help guide you. But if you ever need help and you see what your week looks like, but you need assistance figuring out, how do I lay out this week for my best success? That's what our team is here for. We're here to help you. So just remember, email, text, phone, and the live chat during the week, we're here to help, and you're never bothering us. We're here to guide you to your success. But what I love so much about Summer Social, we like to be troubleshooters, right? We're problem solvers. And you tell us the problem is, I want my health goals, but I want to go out in the world a little bit too, then we've solved that problem for you. But again, you might need some guidance. Big thing, don't expect losing 15 pounds in a month, but you're getting something else you want. You're still losing weight, you're still losing body fat, you're still on your path to health, but you're also getting that aspect of social. And remember too, we also have our barbecue. This is barbecue season. Our barbecue recipes are online all summer long, right? So they'll be up through Labor Day. And keep in mind too, you could go to a barbecue or you could be hosting a barbecue and you can stick to plan. So you could do, again, veggie kebabs, grilled pineapple, grilled portobello mushrooms with seasoning. There's so many wonderful things you can do on the barbecue and really still stick to plan. So there are ways to mitigate what you're doing and enjoy yourself. Sometimes it's just a matter of, well, the barbecue I'm going to doesn't even start until 6. You can, once in a blue moon, eat a little bit later, but stick to chemistry. That's still going to serve you more than going off chemistry-wise. So eating vegetables, but eating a bit late is still going to allow you to burn more body fat than taking the day off and grilling a piece of chicken or having a burger from the grill. So again, you've got choices. We're here to help empower you to make the best choices for you without any judgment.
Now it's making those choices that I want you to focus on. Now, I've recognized that Barbara and I are very different. I'm 30 years older than Barbara. I'm in a totally different category, and I guess I look at life a bit differently. All of you are here because you made the same choice. I want to change my health, and I want to change the shape of my body. When you do the summer social, you're making a simple choice. What you're saying is, I haven't changed my goal, but I recognize I'm going to get there more slowly. And the payback for me is, even though I'm going to get there more slowly, I'm going to have what I'm missing because I want to be social. It makes me feel good, but I don't have to feel guilty. How I create my lifestyle and what works for me is what I'm going to do. And our job is to help you get there. Now, there's one other thing I want you to look at in regard to the summer social aspect. It's something I've done for years. And that is, I look at a day when I'm going off the program, and that's what summer social is. I'm not going to do the day on the program. I view it as a 1 meal a day day. even though I'm not going to do it in the typical fashion. Now, if I'm going out with friends, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, then I won't be eating before 12, but I'm not going to be eating before 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I don't know if I can handle that. I want something. And because I want something, what I'm going to have, let's say if it's in the evening, I'm going to have a salad and a fruit during the day. And then I'm going to do the special day program as it's outlined. If it's going to be in the afternoon, then 12 to 2, I'm going to have that one meal. And somewhere around 6, 7 o'clock, I'm going to have the fruit and the small salad to get me through. This way, I'm saying yes to me and no to guilt, because I'm in control, I'm making decisions, and the best part is that it works.
I'm good. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Okay, that being the case, I want to talk about the fact that we have to understand something. You cannot be successful and use the word no. And the reason that you can't is the power of food and comfort and satisfaction will never diminish. I want. And there's nothing wrong with saying I want. But there is something wrong with saying no. Come on, Barbara. Come on, Barbara. Come on, Barbara.
That was the donuts earlier.
Come on, Barbara. How many come on, Barbara, before she says, all right, already, I'm going to do it your way? Breaking down is something that occurs to all of us. Some of us are more rigid than others and can withstand or try, and the price is enormous. Stress and anxiety and annoyance and anger and upset. What for? For saying no because, and pardon me, I want to be good. And why do I want to be good? Because if I go off my program, I'm bad. None of that is accurate. We started out by saying it's your choice to lose a little bit less and to still have a quality of social life that makes you feel good. Therefore, what I want you to do is recognize you must be proactive. You cannot sit passively by and say no. Now, many of you have heard me time and time and time again talk about the child self, the adult self. All of that is real, and all of that is true. But here's the one thing that we ignore. I am responsible for me. And whatever decision I make, since it's my decision, has nothing to do with what you or anyone else is thinking. Everyone has their own agenda. I don't want to get into why they have their own agenda. And I can tell you stories, and we could spend hours listening to the stories that I tell you. But as Barbara was saying, we came up from Florida and we stopped to eat. And we made choices. For me, since gaining weight is not something on any level that's good for me, I committed myself to one meal a day. I had fruit, I had salad, I had something to drink that felt good. I love diet iced tea, and when I could, I have this huge thermos with, I carry ice in it because I like iced tea, and I was drinking whenever I could. Because we were sleeping over, I had dinner in mind, and we had dinner around 7 o'clock. And what did I have? I had some vegetables and a piece of fish and something to drink. Not alcohol, but I had something to drink. I looked forward to dinner. I didn't have a problem. And I lost a pound on the trip up from Florida back here to the Northeast. It was good for me. It worked for me. And there's the extra piece that I talked to you all about. You cannot be successful and say no. Now, because of the trip, I used Tic Tacs. And I tend to use peppermint Tic Tacs because of the sharpness of the flavor. And what I do is I hold the Tic Tacs in my hand. I had them in my pocket. I knew what I was thinking. I want. And when I say I want, I want. In the past, I've indulged. And it always caused me a problem because after I indulge, the guilt and remorse that I experience really weighs heavy on me. Now, I've got 3 Tic Tacs in my hand. These Tic Tacs are not nearly as good as what I'm thinking of going off with. And don't tell me I want what that is. Most of the time, it's a piece of some kind of cake or something that I can get flavor at, tastes good. And my favorite, by the way, is strawberry shortcake with whipped cream. It is with extra whipped cream. Now, don't tell me I don't want that strawberry shortcake. I want it. But if I have it, I recognize I'm only going to be happy for the time that I'm having it. And then the guilt and remorse is going to come in, and I hate that. So I'm going to use these Tic Tacs to substitute for the strawberry shortcake. But here is the key. If you think it, it has potential. It's only real if you actually verbalize it. So I'm going to say, hey, Tic Tacs, I'm using you as a substitute for the strawberry shortcake. I know you're not as good, but if I use you as a substitute, I'm not going to cheat. I take the Tic Tacs and I put them in my mouth. I suck on them for a moment, and then I chew down on one of them, and the peppermint flavor fills my mouth. You want to know something? If I stand on my head with the flavor of those Tic Tacs in my mouth and try to put in some strawberry shortcake, it ain't going to happen. I'm the one who was in control. I'm the one who put the Tic Tacs in my mouth. I'm the one who bit down. I'm the one who said, I'm using you as a substitute. I was the boss. And what I also said is, I know I give in, and I don't like feeling guilty. So when I do this, I prevent myself from giving in. You want to know something? It feels darn good because Tic Tacs are 0 calories.
So I'm going to enhance that. And by the way, Debbie, thank you for, she says, we're glad we're back. He can't see the comments on the screen. And what I like, she said, it's amazing to think about this from the perspective of choices. No matter how many times I hear it, it's inspiring. So with that said, and thank you, Debbie, for that, you heard what Dad does. Now, we were driving back in separate cars. And again, 2 days on the road, 12-hour days on the road, and I'm driving with my 10-year-old daughter in the back seat and our 2 cats. And so we have snacks in the car. My daughter's going to want some snacks along the way, and we brought up stuff that was down in the house. And again, long driving, I'm a little tired. I want something. My daughter's having a snack. Now, while I'm driving, I don't have it in me to sit and have the conversation with the Tic Tacs. Now, there are moments that I will do that, exactly what he said, right? Exactly what my father said. Look at, now for me, I use a Listerine breath strip. Sometimes I use the Listerine Ready tabs. I tend to go more to those than the Tic Tacs. But my go-to in a quick fix, I don't have time to have that whole conversation. I'm driving. I've got my kid going. There's just too much going on. I grabbed what was sitting in the seat next to me were 3 different bags of Dr. John's lollipops. I had the chocolate. I had something, I think the tropical fruit ones, and I had the classic flavors. And I just randomly stick my hand in the bag, pull one out, pull up the thing and go, I'm having this instead. And I'll literally say to my daughter, would you like one of these too? Would you like a Dr. John's? And sometimes she'll say yes. But I'm like, this is what mommy's having. I'm having my Dr. John's instead. And I don't necessarily have the whole time to have that whole conversation. But it's still, I look at it and go, I'm having a Dr. John's. That's my way of saying out loud, I'm in control, and I'm putting that in my mouth. And that lollipop makes my inner child so happy. And if I was looking for that something sweet, now I have that something sweet. So I'm not substituting with mint that's going to overwhelm it, but instead I'm getting an alternative sweet. But it's giving me that same sense of control because I'm choosing to stick my hand in that bag, pull out the lollipop, pull off this thing, stick it in my mouth. And again, I'm driving, I'm busy. And it's still, when I sit there, there's this feeling of satisfaction because I made a decision. I had a choice. I could take the cookies with my daughter. I could choose to have the Dr. John's lolly. They were both sweet, so my inner child still got a sweet, but I empowered myself to take control and stick a lollipop in my mouth. And what's nice is, again, that flavor's there, but you take it out for a second, put it back in, and you're constantly reconnecting. I was able to be driving, but pull it out for a sec, put it back in, but there always was a hand on the wheel. I was always safe. But it gave me a way to be engaged with what was in my mouth and things like, and I hear from many of you, we're on road trips, we're out there, and I have to say, look, we get bored, right? Sometimes the reason we want to eat is we're bored. You're on a long road trip, you're bored. Your inner child is looking for a snack. You know what? If I have a Dr. John's and I finish it, very often I immediately take another one. And sometimes I even take a third. Typically by the third,
and that's the key. The key is you have the stick in your hand. You're in charge. The fact that you put it in your mouth, you recognize you're giving yourself something. You cannot say no, so you're saying yes, this instead. Number 3, as Barbara said, you constantly reconnect. And it lasts. Debbie just pointed out, a lollipop is more than a Tic Tac. It lasts 4 or 5 minutes.
And if you're looking for mint, Dr. John's does have mint lollies, and there are other brands. We just happen to love the Dr. John's.
I love the Dr. John's because of the Kojak program. And that's what I think about this bald detective who had a lollipop in his hand. And what I loved about it, now think about this. If you ever saw the Kojak program, no one ever commented over the fact that he was having a lollipop. Number two, he was doing it to be in control. He wanted to stop smoking. And so instead of a cigarette, he put a lollipop in his hand. And you know what the worst part ever is? Because no one comments about it. People will say to you, "Can I have one?" There's no downside. And you're being proactive. Anything else, Barb?
I think that's it. Again, just remember, this is all about you. This is your Accu lifestyle. These are your Accu choices. And this is about empowering you to take control of you.
And remember, do not hesitate to contact us with questions, with concerns, with issues, or just to say hello. And if I say hello to you, I'll smile.
And as we say that, for those of you who don't know, I know we sent an email blast. Doc is back, and he's back in the Clark office starting tomorrow. He'll be there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can book right online at the website. You can call 973-243-0777 to book your appointment. And again, so don't hesitate to reach out. You can email or text if you're not sure. If you need to text, it's 845-553-0770. Dr. Lebrano, who was on with us 2 weeks ago on Monday, he is there 6 days a week. And my dad is back in the Clark office Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10:30 to 7:45 by appointment. So I know that you're looking forward to seeing everyone again. He enjoyed his time seeing people down in the Florida office, but I know his New Jersey clients are near and dear because it's where he started. And I know he's looking forward to seeing all of you.
Stay well.
And Debbie says, can't wait to see you till tomorrow.
All of you.
Have a good night.